Good day and welcome to Three Dudes and a Lady. Join us for a little inspiration, a little motivation, and perhaps a way to cope with your day. I am Mike from Virginia, and my gratitude this morning is way earlier than normal. I have finished my continuing education for the biennium.
Hey, a pleasant good morning, folks. My name is Earl Rule, hailing from the beautiful state of North Carolina. And my gratitude for this morning, I'll just use one word, it's blessings. Um, Last night, when I was at my men's fellowship dinner, the leader anonymously paid for my meal last night, which I thought was pretty nice. And doing Dash over the weekend, I actually got a free breakfast coupon just for sending gratitude to the store manager for what wonderful service that they do. And it's just when you speak up and say something nice, you just never know what could happen.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I'm Christine Wright, hailing out of the great state of Florida. My gratitude for the day is date nights. Last night was our date night. We changed it. So I'm fasting today instead of last night. So it was great. We had a great time. So today, Jay Shetty talked about don't skate in the sand. And, as he's going through it, well, I didn't know what to expect. But, it's basically finding different ways around. Like, have you ever tried to skate through sand? It's not easy, right? So, you could plow through it. You could take your skates off and walk through it. You could walk through it with your skates probably if you wanted to. It'd be a lot harder. But, finding different paths. And then at the very end, he was asking us what the different uses could be used for a pencil, right? Like how many different uses can there be? There's a lot, right? I mean, I didn't think of a couple of the ones that he said, but I thought of a couple of the ones he did say. But think about that, like thinking outside of the box and being creative, right? What do you guys think about this one?
Um, I want to just say, um, I know this person from being on the beach. Walking through sand can sometimes slow you down as well, especially when the
Yeah,
sand is warm and soft. I mean, you can't. It's hard to run through the sand unless you got Olympian legs. Even with that, it's amazing. But also, you don't want to let things like that slow you down. So, especially if you're changing careers or if you're in the same career, but it's changing for you, whether it's technology, new people, what it is, don't let things like that slow you down, but think on the creative side of what it is that you want to do. Because I'm actually noticing that in some of the aspects around me that, sometimes creativity is the spice of life there, as far as like ideas in social media or marketing your business or whatever that you're doing. Yeah, don't be afraid to show your true colors. I'm sorry about that. Don't be afraid to show your true colors, but stand in that moment of what it is that you want to do and just observe, take notes, and just shine your light.
definitely shine your light. Go ahead, Mike.
So, Earl, I'm not going to disagree with you because that's Jay Anderson's job and he's not here today, but I'm going to take a slightly different take on it. Uh, Obstacles will slow you down.
Yeah, they will.
Key is don't let them stop you, or maybe don't let them turn you around 180 and retreat. Like they will slow you down.
Oh, for sure.
And
And
I,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Earl.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm a little ahead of myself here. Obstacles will slow you down to some extent. They will. I mean, it's how you get around that obstacle or get over it in some cases when you get around it. And but Mike, I think you would agree with me. Sometimes the word creativity and adjustment are two key things when you get those obstacles. Identifying what the obstacle is and how we deal with it. Because I think, especially in our business, when we come into obstacles, sometimes we do have to be creative, but also understanding what it is and just getting around it so we can move forward. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Yeah,
As having grown up on a farm, sometimes a nail would be used where a bolt was probably a better option, just
Hmm.
because you didn't have the time to stop what you were doing and drive 20 miles around, one way to go to a hardware store or a parts store.
Well, also look at it this way, Mike. Um, how should I put this? So don't expect to plan things on time in a timely manner. Always make sure that you have a plan B in place, because when you get into obstacles, um, sometimes you have to know how to maneuver, or I think communication with others is key. I can't express that enough, because that's a key thing, and just how to posture yourself with those things. But don't get overwhelmed. Just take 2 steps back and say, okay, what do I need to do and to get around this problem? And so sometimes adjustments are made with those obstacles, you know, and trying to think of other words, because usually I kind of take notes ahead of the game on this one, and I didn't.
Yeah.
But I,
And
I, I, I think a lot of people who are watching this, they could be going through the same thing. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you now, here in our area, we've got kids having last day at school. Also, the past 2 days, we had schools dismissed early because of the heat. Here in North Carolina, it reached an all-time record of 96 yesterday. And some of the school, we had 15 schools that had HVAC problems, air conditioning problems. Okay, and a lot of angry parents. So we adjustments had to be made to get through those obstacles, to for the safety of the people. And sometimes you have to think outside the box to as a parent as well, to make adjustments.
yeah, for sure. And like not letting the obstacles, like you guys said, making sure that you don't quit because of obstacles, because no matter what you do in life, there's going to be something, right? There's always something, right? It's just how do we handle it and how do we keep moving forward?
Another example I'll give you. I know somebody in my church community that's having a graduation party this weekend, but because of let's just say issues on the property, and it's supposed to rain this weekend, they're finding it tough to make the adjust. So they had to make the adjustment and be creative with making sure that the party goes out without a hitch. So they had to change locations to and it was like a last minute thing. So when you run into obstacles like that, I mean, that can be stressful on the parents too,
Yeah.
because you're, especially if you're paying money, putting down payment on a place, or even if it's in your own house and you're doing construction and things are way behind schedule and the kids are driving you crazy, and it's like, okay, I need to slow down. I need to observe what I'm doing. And now, luckily for us, we have a group of guys that were able to help come up with a solution, but it doesn't resonate for everybody. Everybody will have their own obstacles that they go through. It's a question of how you deal with them. And sometimes you have to take.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mike.
Very, very true. Very true.
Mike,
Uh,
go ahead. I'll
I,
let you talk.
I keep going back to this because I guess it made an impression on me. Months ago, Jay Shetty said the obstacles are the route, or are the journey.
Hmm.
And we're all not defined by the obstacles. We are defined by the obstacles that we overcome, how we react to them.
For sure. Depending on if we push through or find a different route, or, like, or we turn around and retreat, right? So depending on what we do is how we feel about it, right?
And the pain. I don't want to say it's the painful part, Christine, but I want to say it's the rough part. That sometimes where we have to pivot and make changes, through the obstacles. Sometimes it's decisions that we don't want to make. In other words,
Yeah.
we have to pivot to something that we really don't want to do, but we have to do. And sometimes that's a painful part of life. I mean, there are going to be obstacles you run into in life. It's a question of how you deal with it. And this is something we talked about last night in our men's group, how we deal with obstacles. I'm not going to speak on the Bible in this platform, but I will say this: through families, through people, when you're dealing with obstacles, it's important that you take 2 steps back, keep your composure without causing any problem, saying this is what we need to do, whether we like it or not. And it is what it is because everybody's situation is going to be different, whether it's either school, career, um, even weddings. I mean, how many times did we hear about last minute things that we have with weddings? I mean, I don't know how I brought that up, but it happened recently. So,
You mentioned the Bible, and the Bible is full of stories of people
Obstacles.
overcoming obstacles. That's all it really is.
oh yeah,
You go Moses and
Abraham.
Jonah and
Abraham going to sacrifice his only son. Or not
well,
his son, and then a ram shows up, right? So like that's a huge obstacle.
yeah,
and we were reading for the book of John last night, and we were talking about that, how it pertains and how we need to accept ourselves on what we do. And right, I mean, obstacles was a big topic. It just it was one of those things out of the blue what we talked about last night, and there was 9 of us at the table, and we were sitting talking about what we're going through. So, uh, but it was pretty interesting. But
even
Mike, do you have anything on this?
even if you don't have faith, or not getting religious here, but some people don't. But
Right.
you have to have faith in yourself that you can overcome, get through, go around, over, under, through, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, definitely. You have to have faith, unwavering faith at that, right? That
Yes.
like this is gonna work. If not, if not like as soon as an obstacle does show up, you're not gonna push because you don't have
Sometimes,
the faith in it.
right. Sometimes when we manifest stuff, and sometimes it's out of the blue, out of our heart, all of a sudden we come up with an idea how we come. It's important that we keep that positive faith with that manifestation, saying, I got this, we can do this. Okay. You have to have that heart set. Don't doubt yourself. You get, and trust me, I tell this myself many times because I'm a true believer of what I do and how I'm growing out of my comfort zone, but into something that's going to be real. Okay. Now, a lot of young people, I'm sure there's a lot of young people watching this. Just remember one thing. Okay. You will run into obstacles at some point. I mean, life is full of obstacles. But the thing is, you cannot let anything stop you into something that you want to be successful at. All right. Whether it's a career, a job, the one thing you got to do is wipe out the negativity, say, I'm going to stay on this path and I'm going to fight through it. Okay. Because sometimes you do have to fight through it.
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes you just have to fight through the obstacles in
Right.
order to have the bigger vision, right? The bigger goals, the plus the person that you become on the other side of those obstacles is going to be a completely different person than when you went into the obstacle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the four square thing where you go in the pit of despair, like that. And an obstacle definitely could be a pit of despair, like it could put you there, right? For sure.
Well, I'll give you another quick example of we got some college kids that are in the I want to say they're in kind of the medical field or the health field. We'll just say the health field. And they're seeing what's on the other side of that fence of what they're going to be dealing with just by doing like work, co-op work through college. And I mean, they do have a passion for what they're about to enter, but they know that there's going to be challenges that go along with it. So, where there's challenges, there's going to be successes. All right. But the important thing is have that positive mindset to be there. Mike, you got anything?
I was just thinking when you said medical field, I told you I have a college roommate who lives near you. Uh, when he was in college for a summer, he became an EMT, and his logic was, I got to figure out if I can even stand the sight of blood.
If you
I
can't
thought that was genius.
if you can't stand the sight of blood,
You should not
EMT
be
is
a doctor.
EMT. Well, don't be a doctor, but don't be an EMT. Think about the accidents that
Yeah.
you're. All right.
Yeah.
That was his logic. If he could be an EMT, he could be a doctor.
Yep. That's a good logic to have too, because like
Yeah.
Think about the obstacles if he didn't do that and went through medical school and then realized that he doesn't like the sight of blood and
So,
can't stand it.
and
Well,
to bring it home, he foresaw a future obstacle and decided to tackle it
Right
ahead
then
of
and
time.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was thinking outside the box, which I think is what Jay was trying to get us to do is with obstacles, sometimes we do have to think outside the box of how to get through it, how to get around it, just don't retreat. Unless it's
right.
something you really don't want to do anyway, then maybe you need to have a different path.
You mean the
And,
obstacle could be your excuse?
Yeah.
and
Or it could
sometimes
be your writing in the sand to say, nope, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
the one thing I tell the high school people that are graduating to plan on entering college, I tell them to give it 100% in college. I said, whether you decide to stay in this field or not, just know that life will have its options, it will have its obstacles. Because sometimes kids get scared, especially in their sophomore year, it slaps them in the face like, oh my God, look what I got myself into. I said, you know why? Okay. And I always tell the kids, start off at a community college and stay close to home. Don't go halfway across the country because, first of all, it's so easy to get homesick and get depressed. But the thing is, you're testing yourself out to see if it's what you meant to be doing, whatever it is, science, health, whatever it is. All right. But the thing is, you're starting off at a young age. There will be changes. I mean, it could be. Most people change careers every 7 to 8 years. I mean, it's a fact here in the United States. But if you stay with that career as long as you do, that's a blessing. So don't be afraid to take that challenge to be the best you can be and face those obstacles, but have a positive mindset with it.
For sure. Love that.
Mike, you got anything before I wrap it up?
Wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
All right. Well, folks, as you can see, we are not licensed therapists, anything like that. We are here to bring you joy and comfort on this wonderful platform, on this platform called Calm, where we listen to Jay Shetty every day. And I hope that you learned and took something from this. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. And please come back for more, and we'd love to have you. Peace.
Deuces.
Peace.